Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Monday Morning Art Talk. I'm Steven Silver, character designer and teacher, dedicated to helping you learn about the art industry and living up to your potential. Whippy! All right, welcome to another Monday Morning Art Talk. Just wanted to remind you guys, on October 19th in Irvine, I'm doing a full day workshop. You can learn more about it in the link that is scrolling below, or silvertunes.com/workshops. So today I wanted to just kind of go through a book that is one of my favorite books. I have many different books, and this is one that I really love, and I just got books sitting, and I love having books because, or even if it's on the iPad, works too, just to be able to underline things, because then you can almost like read through the whole book, and then you can just start to highlight things that resonate with you at that moment. And what's interesting is, after years or months, you can just all of a sudden just read through the book very quickly with those same points. But it's also interesting to me that sometimes those points don't resonate so much anymore. And then you start reading beyond where I didn't highlight and go, oh my God, I wonder why I didn't highlight that. And I realized I didn't highlight that because my mind wasn't in that place at that time. And that's usually what it is. So it's always interesting to me, how are we going to be just, we're going to soak up information of things that our body is telling us, our mind is telling us that we want to know about, that we want to learn about. And I just kind of love it. It's a whole, that's the beauty of a book. So this book, it's by one of my favorite writers, philosophers. His name was Orison, Swett, Marden. And I'll spell his name out there for you on the description below. And this book was called He Who Thinks He Can and Other Papers on Success in Life. Now, getting these sort of books beyond just buying art books and other things is going to be important, because you're constantly feeding your mind with positivity. Now, isn't that a greater thing to do instead of constantly feeding your mind with negativity? If all you're doing is listening to negativity, watching negativity, surrounding yourself by negativity, working amongst negativity, all this stuff, how do you think you're going to be? It's like you're making your own sort of drink. You're concocting your own sort of formula as to what do you want to drink. And, all this negative stuff, that sounds awesome. I'm going to do all this negative stuff. Sometimes not even by choice. You unfortunately are in that situation, but it's up to you to get yourself out. But what happens is you do have choice in many times of what it is you're feeding into your mind. So do you want to keep listening to that stuff, or it's worthwhile hearing? It's worthwhile listening to just different perspectives and different sides. But why not fill your brain and your mind with positive thoughts? Because it's just better. It's just a better way of living. It's just a better way of life. I can guarantee you're going to be a lot more happier in your life. If you find yourself not happy, not in that sort of place in mind, and you might be having the best job in the world, and you find yourself, why, I got freaking everything I want. Why aren't I happy? What's going on here? What's the problem? And you start to realize, well, there's a piece by piece, there's a lot of different pieces to this puzzle that are going to be surrounding you. So it's up to you to try to bring in these different pieces, take out pieces that aren't working for you. And one of those pieces are read a good book, or just listen to positivity wherever you can find it. So I thought what I wanted to do today was just go through some, I don't know where I'm going to stop, but I won't go on for too long. But I just wanted to read to you different parts that I highlighted. I can't tell you the date when I highlighted these, but at the moment when I highlighted them, they were resonating with me. All right, so I'm just going to go through the different highlights and not, reading you the whole book. Obstacles get out of the path of a determined man who believes in himself. What would you think of a young man ambitious to become a lawyer, who should surround himself with a medical atmosphere and spend his time reading medical books? Do you think he would ever become a great lawyer by following such a course? No, he must put put himself in a lower atmosphere, go where he can absorb it and be steeped in it until he's attuned to the legal note. That's kind of like what we want to do with the art. Don't surround yourself with negative people. Surround yourself with positive people. Don't surround yourself with a bunch of oil painters if you want to be a storyboard artist. These are the sort of things. What do you want to do? He is soaked, saturated with the idea. How long will it take a man who depreciates himself, talks failure, thinks failure, walks like a failure and dresses like a failure, who is always complaining of the insurmountable difficulties in his way, and whose every step on the road to failure is on the road to failure? How long will it take him to arrive at the success goal? Will anyone believe in him or expect him to win? No. The real moment you harbor doubt and begin to lose faith in yourself, you capitulate to the enemy. Every time you acknowledge weakness, inefficiency, or lack of ability, you weaken your self-confidence. And this is to undermine the very foundation of all achievement. So as long as you carry around a failure atmosphere and radiate doubt and discouragement, you will be a failure. Boldly face your goal with a stout heart and a determined endeavor, and you will find that things will change for you. But you must see a new world before you can live in it. It's the mind. You got to see the new world in the mind. You got to envision what you want. Like he says in other chapters, the castle in the sky precedes the castle in the land. You got to imagine these things, create in your mind what it is you want to have happen. If you expect to get a position, you must go into an office with the air of a conqueror. You must show by your very presence that you are a man of force. A man who can do things with vigor, cheerfulness, and enthusiasm. I have interviewed many timid people as to why they let opportunities pass them that eagerly seized by others with such less ability. And the answer was invariably, a confession like the following. I have not courage, said one. I lack confidence in myself, said another. I shrink from trying for fear I shall make a mistake and have the mortification of being turned down, said a third. It would look so cheeky for me to have the nerve to put myself forward, said a fourth. Oh, I do not think it would be right to seek a place so far above me, said another. I think I ought to wait until the place seeks me, or I am better prepared. So they run through the whole gamut of self-distrust. This shrinking, this timidity of self-effacement often proves a worse enemy to success than actual incompetence. Take the lantern in the hand, and you will always have light enough for your next step. I shall repeat that. Take the lantern in your hand, and you will always have light enough for your next step, no matter how dark. For the light will move along with you. Do not try to see a long way ahead. One step enough for me. Piece by piece will bring you peace. That's what I say. First step is to establish self-confidence. Think only of the ends to be attained and not the means. Think only of the ends to be attained and not the means. Think about the puzzle, the picture you want. Do not think about how all these pieces how long it's going to take, how am I going to organize it, how they're all going to come together. Those are the means. And as long as you know the picture, as long as you have the vision, as long as you stay true to it, you're going to be able to put those pieces of the puzzle together and you're going to make your picture perfect. And when it's perfect, you're going to move on to the next one, piece by piece. The only inferiority in us is what we put into ourselves. The great trouble with many of us is that we do not believe enough in ourselves. We do not realize our power. We do not realize our power to organize in our union. We do not realize we have the power. Be sure that your success will never rise higher than your confidence in yourself. You cannot succeed while doubting yourself or thinking thoughts of failure. Cling to success thoughts. Fill your mind with cheerful, optimistic pictures. Pictures of achievement. How about that? I like that I'm reading this right now, and actually the way that my mind has been thinking a lot lately with my piece by piece thing is it's just all saying it right here. It's just coming back. Constantly assert your superiority to environment. Believe in yourself. Feel you are dominant. Feel you are to dominate your surroundings. Resolve that you will be the master and not the slave of circumstances. Self-confidence. It carries conviction. It makes other people believe in us. Self-faith, self-confidence. We are stimulating and increasing the strength of the very faculties which enable us to do the thing we have set in our heart. Our faith often tells us that we may proceed safely even in the dark when we see no light ahead. Poverty and failure are self-invited. The disasters people dread often come to them. Worry and anxiety enfeeble their force of mind and so blunt their creative and productive faculties, and they are unable to exercise them properly. Fear of failure or lack of faith in one's ability is one of the most potent causes of failure. They put limitations to their ability. They cast stumbling blocks in their way by aiming only at mediocrity or predicting failure for themselves. I'm going to end there. Believe, my friends. Believe. Have that picture. Surround yourself with positivity, not failure. Don't believe in failure. It's a stepping stone. That's it. Make it a great week. Hope to see you at my Irvine and Memphis workshop. Take care. To subscribe to my mailing list and stay updated on future workshops and events, please go to my contact at silvertunes.com and simply hit join mailing list. Until the next time, make it a great week and thank you for listening.